All right. Happy Sunday night. I am here with my friend, Jennifer Schutz, and I'm excited for you guys to hear from her. And I want to tell you, if you have any children with neurodivergent, how do we say it? What's the word? Help me.
Neurodivergent. Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct. Yeah.
So, all right. I have a friend of mine who I've been following online the last couple of weeks, and she's been talking about parenting and the challenges with parenting her neurodivergent child and like the ways she's been steered wrong and what she's doing now. And anyway, so I think it's perfect timing because I know that there's a lot of parents out there that are struggling with how to parent your child, that has, is not your typical learning or, can't, the standard discipline that we've been taught forever doesn't work. Right. And Jen and I have worked together through network marketing and then with coaching for a couple of years now. Two and a half years, maybe. And it has been so fun for me to see Jen's growth from starting in network marketing to just growing in her confidence and in her messaging, and it has turned into something much bigger. And so I'm excited for you guys to meet her today. And so Jen, I would love for you to share a little bit about this new business that you've just recently launched and where that has come from for you, and kind of let's just like spend some time and talk through the process. One of the passions of mine with this entrepreneur spotlight is to let other people know like all the different ways you can make money and help people, right? It's not just about the income, but it's about the impact that you make. And I talk a lot about network marketing being the catalyst for your calling, right? It's this stepping stone to personal development and understanding sales and understanding social media and all these different things. So tell me, like, kind of, let's go first. What is your company currently that you just launched?
Well, thank you for the introduction. That was very sweet. And I love working with you. You are so great at what you do, and you just have this gift of like drawing people in. For me, so my company, my website is called Willow Tree Parenting. I chose Willow Tree because it's a beautiful tree, but the basis of it is that you adapt, you grow, you bend and move without breaking, which calls really deeply to me as a mom of 3 neurodivergent children. Mm-hmm. So I jumped into this because I'm a mama with 3 kids, and I've been walking this journey for 10 plus years with them. I'm also a foster parent, so I see a lot of different challenges with neurodivergent children and trauma. And I'm also a mental health nurse practitioner as well.
Yes. And so you did foster to adopt, right? Mm-hmm. And you've brought these kids, and that's one thing that I just love about your heart too. Like some people, right, they have children through birth and they have to deal with these issues, right, that they didn't see coming. You chose to take children in. Just, we have a similar situation, right? We chose to adopt a daughter with cerebral palsy and bring on that challenge. And it definitely takes a special person to do that. But I'm sure there's been lots of learning along the way, as I know in our lives, right? We're like, like, I got this. And then all these challenges creep up that you had no idea that you'd ever face. But I love your heart for your kids. I love your heart. Like, you have so much credibility in this space. Like, I'm so excited that you're leaning into it because you've walked the path, right? You're not somebody sitting back going, hey, this is what I've been taught, right? You're like, this is what I've walked through. And then plus your medical background, and I think is so powerful. So you first dipped your toe into, well, your professional career is what? Tell them what your professional
I'm a pediatric nurse practitioner.
Okay. And then you dipped your toe into network marketing.
Yeah.
Right?
COVID hit. I had to reduce my hours because I was homeschooling 3 kids during COVID, which was just hell on wheels. And then, so I dipped my toe into network marketing, trying to like make up. I'm also a single parent. So it was just me. So I had to like find ways to supplement income. So I did network marketing, and that's how you and I got connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what was the point that came that you're like, I want to do this. I want to do something different. I want to lean in and help these parents and families in general out there with children with, or neurodivergent children. Sorry, I'm always trying to figure out, even as a mom of a child with special needs, I'm always like, what's the right way to say that?
It changes all the time, and I'm a big believer, like my philosophy is like, people say, special needs or disability. I'm not a fan of the word disability, because even neurotypicals, I have disabilities in some areas. I mean, I call them, we have different abilities and not disabilities. So I'm a big believer in focusing on the positive in every single person. Especially in our confusing neurotypical world for these kids and parents. And so I just got off my train of thought. What was your question again?
So what was that shift for you that you decided that you wanted to lean into the parent coaching?
Yeah, I just know that for me, it's such a struggle. And I went through this all alone, all these years by myself. And you don't need to do that. There's people out there to help, and I want to serve. I'm not here to like build an empire in network marketing. I felt like that wasn't, like you said, it's a catalyst. It was like a shift for me. Like, this is not what my calling is. My calling is helping people walk through those struggles and know that there's so much more, and there's something on the other side of just the overwhelm and the chaos and the daily, like, wanting to pull your hair out because you're like, what the hell am I doing? I'm doing something wrong, but you're not. And so I really wanted to like reach my hand back and say, come with me, because I know what it feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, your company's called Willow Tree Parenting, and your primary focus, just for those watching to fully understand, is really partnering alongside those parents that are really, what are those feelings, I guess, that you feel as a parent as you're trying to raise your children in the traditional methods, right, that we're taught, or are not the same, right? Or like, I guess, tell me a little bit of what the challenges are that you're finding that this community of parents is facing, that that really is something that you can speak to and that you can help them with.
Yeah, it's really isolating, and like I said, we live in this neurotypical world that just really is made for neurotypical brains and not for, neurodivergent brains. Like, the school system is so messed up. Even being in the medical field, the whole insurance company, like our healthcare, that's a whole nother hot topic. But I know that there's a lot of things I can't do as a nurse practitioner to help, because I'm put in this box by insurance companies. So there is just so much that, as these kids are all so different, that there's no one size fits all for them. Even for my kids, like, they change day to day. I'm like, oh my gosh, that strategy that we were using for weeks now is not working. Okay, so let's just, like the Willow Tree, let's bend and adapt and change and focus on something else. And it also, as a parent, I feel like we all need that coaching. We all can use support. And being able to see our blind spots is really, really valuable day to day, because sometimes we feel like we can't see it and it's there, but somebody else can point it out, like, hey, have you tried this? So, that's what I really want to do for anybody walking through this journey. It impacts the parent, the family and the kids, and then just kind of blends out into the community.
Mm-hmm. And then you also have a community on Facebook. Is that right? Do you have a group?
I do. I just opened it up because, I had people reaching out to me individually and saying, I heard you talk about that, or can you help me with this? And I thought, well, why don't we just bring everybody together as well? So I just started a Facebook group just to have like a non-judgmental, supportive community, because that's what we all need, is community and connection.
Yeah, I know when we first brought Esther home, she was so cute and she's so precious, and the girl has a smile that lights up the room, right? And I was not prepared for the challenges. And one of the biggest blessings to me was a friend of mine who had a child that was very extreme, with his unique needs, wheelchair bound, feeding tube, lots of seizures. So a lot of similarities of what we had or we were facing with Esther, and lots of hospital visits. And because she was in the hospital for quite some time, I think 3 weeks when she first came home, but it wound up being, I think, like 9 hospital visits her first year home. And then just, seeing different sides, and like she actually, like I thought, oh, she just only smiles and is happy all the time. And then we saw the unhappy side, right? And the uncontrollable crying, and, her getting angry and not being able to communicate what she was feeling or what she was experiencing. And to me, it was the saving grace to have my friend to call, to be, like you said, that judgment-free zone, to say, here's what I'm feeling right now. Have you ever felt this? Because I feel like the worst mom on the planet, And she's like, oh, absolutely. I feel that about once a day. And I'm like, oh, really? Right? Like, I'm not horrible. Like, this is normal, kind of like I related a little bit, but to, being a new mom and having a little bit of postpartum blues and a child that never stops crying, or, and it's something you can never prepare for, And so, like, the best way is having a mentor or having community and people that you can share with and that can guide you, that have been there, that have walked through the challenges, is truly a saving grace for people. So I'm excited for, as you build this community, that it's going to be a place where people can go. And so my friend, I thought it was the timing of our call, this video was so cool, because a girl I used to go to church with, she just posted something about a week ago, and I sent it to you, or I sent you, I don't know if it was a screenshot or what. Her post was private, so I couldn't share the post, but she had read this book on parenting that was kind of the spare the rod, spoil the child type mentality from back in, I think the book came out in the 90s, early 90s maybe. And it's somebody that in the Christian community, they, that was very highly, regarded, and they thought his teaching was like the best, right? And it was biblical and this and that. And she kind of came out a couple of weeks ago and was like, I did it all wrong. I followed this book and I should not have, because my child doesn't operate this way. My child thinks differently, right? She has a neurodivergent child, and you cannot parent the way, just like you said, it's not a one size fits all. And so I just saw her again today pop up and say, like, just the amount of people that are now starting to talk and interact and with her, just that are all experiencing the same things. And so, and it's funny because she used the word neurodivergent, and I had never, until we were working on your marketing, I had never heard of that term. And so, like you said, it does change a lot, right? It was, even since we've had Esther, there's been a couple different terms, that have been used, but I love that, because it truly is, these kids that just, their brains operate differently, right? It's not, and so how can people, say there's a mom out there or a dad out there that is really just feeling that struggle right now and not sure how to parent their child, not sure how to do the best by their kid, and or maybe struggling with communicating with the school system. I know IEPs is a whole other world, right? That is hard to navigate. So what can people do? Like what opportunities do you have to work with these people to help them? And what does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned IEPs in the school, and that is just like that impacts the home life as well. And us as parents, the ability to work and having to deal with the school. And I'm in Washington State. And so I actually am an IEP parent partner. We have a program here. And so I've gone through all the training. And so I go in as a parent advocate as well. And all my kids are on IEPs. And so I understand that frustrating process. And that's also a work in progress for everybody. So to get in touch with me, so my website is willowtreeparenting.com. I'm also on Facebook at Jen Schutz, and there's Willow Tree Parenting. There's a link in there. I have a calendar link in there for a free coaching, just connection call to see if, thank you. It should be on my website too as well. There's a connect. And I also have a free resource there for neurodivergent resources that you can grab. There's so many resources out there, but sometimes it's overwhelming and we just have so much on our plate. We just need a concise kind of like, this is helpful for me. I am going to have another resource up there that has to do with IEP processes, because I know that's very confusing. And then another one's coming on how to regulate ourselves when our child is dysregulated. So, yeah. So Facebook, Instagram, the links are there on my website. So thank you. Yeah.
Yes. And your name on Facebook is Jennifer Schutz?
Is Jen Schutz, Jen.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll put that up too so you guys can see. It's SHUTTS. I tried to put a C in your name for your last name for the longest time.
It happens all the time. Yeah, people.
My last name Maish is SCH, so I'm like, surely there's a C in there, right? So, all right. So you guys go check out if you are a parent of a neurodivergent child, or parents, which I'm sure you do, that are looking for community, that are looking for support, that are looking for guidance. I encourage you to share this video with them, and then also have them visit willowtreeparenting.com, connect with Jen, at least get her free resources and be part of her community on Facebook, and, collaborate and support other parents, right? That can have empathy, that know where you are. And so I'm excited for you, Jen. I'm so glad that you're doing this. It's so needed, and you have such a heart for it. And like I said, that walking through it yourself is, to know that the person that you're working with that's providing guidance not just has the head knowledge, but the heart knowledge and the experience is truly a gift. And so I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I get it, parents. I just want you to know that you're not alone, and I get it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. And listen, the Entrepreneur Spotlight, this is where we can, be inspired, where we can be creative, and where you can learn to be the boss, right? Be your own boss. Everyone has a gift that they can monetize and that they can make an impact with. So keep following along each Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for a new Entrepreneur Spotlight.